Got up this morning, things weren't working right. I said I wanna make a change. I said I wanna fight. Obama walked up and said yes, we can. I said I wanna ride your nuts, cause I think you're the man. Keep riding, Obama, Obama. Keep riding, Obama, Obama. Keep riding, Obama, Obama. Keep riding for tomorrow, keep riding for today, keep riding for the straight, keep riding for the game, keep riding for America, keep riding for rock. It's okay to ride that dick, just as long as it's for rocks. And now we keep riding.
I know that song really has nothing to do with the topic at hand. Well, thinking about it, it kind of has something to do with the topic at hand, but I woke up and for some reason I wanted to hear the song Dick Riding Obama, which got me thinking about Obama. So I think it was in a good way or a bad way, but I guess it kind of does tie into the topic because I'm kind of done with this excitement for the Super Bowl. I feel like America dick rides the Super Bowl because they think the Super Bowl is supposed to be like this incredible thing. But for the past, I don't even know. When was the last time I was actually super excited for a Super Bowl? I don't know. This might, or not this might, but I can't remember a time where I was like, man, I can't wait to see the Super Bowl. I'm so excited to see the teams that are going to the Super Bowl. I think the last time I felt that way was when the Patriots went up against the Giants again. And the Giants handed them their asses. And I laughed so hard because I'm like, man, I'm 2 for 2 when it comes to that. Because whenever the Giants went up against the Patriots, I always root for the underdog. In that case, it was the Giants. Nobody rooted for them. Everybody was like, come on, it's Tom Brady. He's the greatest of all time. Well, I guess back in the day, they didn't really say that. But they were saying that he was probably the best quarterback in the league. So they wrote Eli and the team off like they're not going to win. Not only did they win, but they won twice. Twice. They're the only team to ever beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. The only team, keep that in mind, to beat Tom Brady on the biggest stage of their sport. That was back in what, 2012? I think that's when that Super Bowl happened. But that's the last time I remember being excited for the Super Bowl. Ever since then, the Super Bowl has just been kind of a by-the-numbers sort of affair. I went through the motions and said, okay, I'll go watch the Super Bowl. Everybody's talking about the Super Bowl. I didn't really care, though. And this might be the first, or not the first year, but this might be the year where I could care even less now. I have no sort of attachment to this Super Bowl at all. And I'm just not excited for it. Now, I tried my best to make myself excited for it. I put money on the game. That's the only way I can get excited for the Super Bowl nowadays because my team came close. For those who don't know or don't care, I'm a big fan of the Jags. I've loved the Jags since I moved to Jacksonville back in 2010. Well, I moved in 2009, but I became a fan in 2010, which coincidentally, the 2010-2011 season was our best season in a long time. I think we had an 8-7 record that year, which was impressive because usually the Jags are like 5-9, 3-11, oh no, there's 16 games, so like 5-11, 3-13. We had terrible records. We were right there next to the Browns sometimes, man. And the Browns, they're the most, what's the word I want to use for that team? They're probably the worst sports team in history. They just get progressively and progressively worse as the years go on. And it seems like they're totally content with being mediocre. Not even mediocre. They're not content about being mediocre. They want to be the worst of the worst. They're the they're the Cleveland Cavaliers of football. No, that's insulting. At least Cleveland Cavaliers put some effort some of the time. Some of the time. Yeah, I just don't care about Super Bowl 52. I mean, I won't say that it's a surefire thing. Tom Brady's going to win his sixth ring or his sixth championship, which now I'm never going to hear the end of that. And keep in mind, I don't hate Tom Brady. I know this is like that go-to excuse. Like, I don't hate this person, but I don't hate Tom Brady. In fact, I admire what he has accomplished. You know, he wasn't like a top pick in the draft. You know, people wrote him off as kind of like a bust in it earlier in his career. Then he proved everybody wrong, you know. And I will say this, if there's one thing I will give Tom Brady credit for, that man is masterful in the clutch. Especially when the game is on the line, this guy delivers. I know people want to credit that to Belichick, but I think it's a dual effort. Great coaching by Belichick, good play run and good play running by Tom Brady. You know, the guy has a keen eye and really knows how to put the pedal to the metal when it truly counts. But I'm tired of the Tom Brady story now. I mean, he's done so much to impress me. I can't even argue that he might be the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, greatest athlete, I don't agree. There was this whole argument. Oh, my air conditioner turned on for some reason. Hold on for a second. That was strange. It just, like, did you see that? Is there a ghost in here? Did the ghost just feel so hot that they needed to turn the air conditioner on? That was weird. Anyway, Tom Brady has done so much already to impress me that I won't even argue that he might be the greatest quarterback of all time. Although I will say he has a stain on his record because of I can't let go of Spygate. I know a lot of people say, well, all the other teams do it too, Tony. Well, just because everybody does it doesn't make it okay. Like, what world do we live in? Like, that's like the equivalent of saying, well, everybody steals, Tony, so that's okay. No, it's not. Just because you stole and you got caught and you say, well, everybody's stealing in this town, that doesn't excuse the bad behavior. It's still a crime. Just like spying on another team and getting information from another team is a crime. And people like to excuse Brady in this discussion because they're like, oh no, that was Belichick. That was Belichick's fault. Who ran the goddamn plays? You don't think Belichick was in Tom Brady's ear like, oh, they're running the blah, 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 blah play. Okay, do what we practice. So guess what? Tom Brady is easily culpable in Spygate because he did nothing to prevent Spygate. He allowed it to continue. If he really didn't want to be involved, he would have done something. He didn't. He was complacent. Complacency breeds not contempt. But basically, if you're complacent on something, you're basically giving it the green light to say, yeah, go ahead and do that. You're complacent, you're agreeing. That's how I feel. Now, Deflategate is another controversy, but I'm willing to let that one go since it wasn't truly proven. Like, they went to court and everything for it, but it wasn't really proven. But I still want to point it out because I'm like, well, out of all the players in football, he is the most scrutinized. Like, if he takes a step outside his door, they're gonna judge that step of whether or not it was a good step or a bad step. That guy is put through the ringer constantly. So I applaud him for, keeping his cool most of the time. As for his political views, I know people want me to rag on him because he supports Donald Trump, but I'm not because I'm not surprised. Goody two shoes Tom Brady supports a rich white man I'm not surprised by that. Apparently, he's good friends with Donald Trump. Whatever. They suck each other's dick. I don't know. But I'm not surprised that he supports Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump mostly supports the rich and powerful. Who is Tom Brady if not the rich and the powerful? Tom Brady's not the everyman. I don't care what anybody says. If you say that Tom Brady's the everyman, I'm going to laugh in your face. He is far from the everyman. He's been through struggles, don't get me wrong, but he is not even the everyman. He lost being the everyman a long time ago. For Super Bowl 52, I put my money that the Eagles will win, but I don't even have much faith in the Eagles because I honestly don't give a shit about that team. That's the God honest truth. I don't care about that team. I have a coworker. His name is Jose. He fucking hates the Eagles. He hates them so much that he's willing to root for the Patriots so that the Eagles don't win. In fact, the person I made the bet with was him. I bet that the Eagles would beat the Patriots. As I told you before, I like to root for the underdog. And in this case, the Eagles are like the biggest underdogs against the Patriots since the first time the Giants went against the Patriots when they were having their amazing close to 19-0 season. And had they won that Super Bowl, if Tom Brady won that Super Bowl, they would be the greatest NFL team of all time. There'd be no question about it. To be 19-0 in one season, 19-0, that is impressive. And I would never argue him being the GOAT at that point in time. I would never argue him being the greatest or even that being the greatest team because they've proven it on not only throughout the season, but even on the biggest stage. And that's why I was so delighted when Eli just spanked that ass. And I remember reading the articles the next day. I went online and I saw in the articles it said 19-0. No. I'm sorry to be delighted in somebody's defeat, but that was a very humbling moment, I think, for Tom. Coming back just one game shy of a perfect season. The first time ever in NFL history. They were going to make history. Womp, womp. And then Eli came back and spanked that ass again in 2012. Oh, man. So, yeah, I put my money on the Eagles, though I don't have much faith in the Eagles to pull it off. I'm crossing my fingers. And what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to watch the game. I have work today, so I can't really watch the game, but I'm not going to look up any scores. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to stay completely away from the Super Bowl. I'm done with it. And then when it's all over, I'll check it out and see who won. And I won't be surprised if it goes either way, although I'll be super excited if the Eagles win because, one, Tom Brady doesn't win. 2, I get paid $50. And 3, I don't hear people in the news media the next day saying, Tom Brady has just proven he's the greatest player of all time. Even though I personally agree, at least in the context of NFL, he's the greatest player. I mean, he's been to the most Super Bowls than any other football player at this point. What, 8? This is his 8th Super Bowl in the span of 17 years. That is impressive. So, yeah, that's what I have to say in regards to that. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's competitive. I just don't want it to be a blowout, although if it's a blowout and there's a big comeback at the end, that'd be exciting. Although I don't think the quarterback for the Eagles can pull a Tom Brady, like being down 28-3 and then come back not only to tie the game but to win it in overtime. Fucking the Atlanta Hawks or the Atlanta Falcons, they choked like a motherfucker. I lost $100 that night. Thank you, Falcons. Thank you. You guys are phenomenal. You're a phenomenal team. You know that? Phenomenal. Just amazing. Okay, well, what do you guys think about the Super Bowl? Are any of you in the comments excited? Let's go ahead and read some of these comments. Okay. First person in the live chat. Hi, Tony. Hello, Federico. To be honest, NFL is going down. I don't know. Like, it's not as popular as it used to be. I'll give you that, but I don't know if it's going down. I will be surprised if they have half as many viewers as before. No, the Super Bowl is guaranteed at least 100 million viewers today. So that's a given. I think the lowest Super Bowl I've heard in recent years was like 96 million. That's the lowest I heard. Who cares about the Super Bowl? Not me anymore. Families are not letting their kids play anymore. The soccer is coming in. Plus injuries and white flags got them in trouble on both sides, not to mention it being boring. Maddie, I really can't argue with that. I really can't argue with that. A lot of people do not like the injuries. The flag thing does get annoying for a lot of people. And for me, I've lost interest in the sport. It's not as exciting as it used to be, or at least in my opinion, it's never been that exciting. It's not as exciting. Whereas, basketball keeps finding ways to excite me each and every day, because there's always twists and turns. Here in the NFL, it's just not the same way, The twists and turns there's no twists and turns. Everything's quite obvious. You know what to expect. Let's see. Tom the Cry Brady bunch can't take their own game instead of taking Tom the Cry Brady bunch can't take their own games instead of taking their ideas in each play. I have no idea what you mean. Are you going to have a profile picture? It's in the works. It's in the works. Tyronsta. Yeah, Tronsta. I know what thing you need to give you inspiration about making movies and anime reviews, Tony. I'll make a man out of you from Mulan. I am, John. There's a new anime review coming out this week. This channel is just for me to vent because I like to talk. I like to vent. I like to get things out of my mind, whether it be like well structured or just a rambling mess. Half of the time, it's just a rambling mess. And that's why I made this channel, just to be a rambling mess where I just vent, because I like to do that shit. Let's see. What about the halftime show? I mean, JT, I'm sure he'll put on a good show. I would love to see him bring Janet Jackson back out, rip her nipple off, or rip her thing off and then show a nipple on screen. That'd be exciting. See, that would make me watch the Super Bowl again, actually. I would watch the Super Bowl for that. What about wrestling? Do you like it? Fuck no. Wrestling. Wait, are we talking like WWE, or are we talking about real wrestling? Because if we're talking about either one, pass. I don't like either of them. My team is the Ravens, but my family is mostly Eagles fans, so I'm pulling for them. Oh man, that must be one tough family to be in. The only Ravens fan in an Eagles family. Although I do find it interesting you both picked teams with birds as their names. Ravens, Eagles. What do you think of Justin Timberlake as part of the halftime show? I mean, like I said, I like JT, so I'm sure he'll put on a fantastic performance. I have no doubt in my mind he will. But I don't care. I don't care. JT's not enough to sell me. The only way you would sell me is if Hasune Miku just came on stage for like 5 seconds. I'd be like, you know what? I missed out. That would have been epic. But no. I mean, the people in the comments, who are you rooting for? I got one person that says that their family's mostly Eagles fans. If you actually give a damn. I mean, I'm sure many of you're fans of my other channel. You probably don't even watch sports that much. So maybe you don't even care. I kind of find it funny. A lot of people have been coming up to me saying, "Wow, Tony, I didn't know you like sports so much. When did you get into sports?" There's a lot about me that you really don't know because I don't say it a lot on my other channel. That's why This channel exists where I can vent and share things that or talk about subjects that I wouldn't talk about on my other channel, because I try to keep that strictly on movies and anime. I was hoping to do a whole I wanted to start talking more about sports, but I didn't want to do it on the Black Critic Guy channel. So I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I already know that the Patriots are going to win. I mean, you really don't know. A lot of us thought the Falcons were going to win last year, and they came very close. And then look what happened. They fell apart at the seams. The only thing that I think would cement that the Patriots will win is the fourth quarter. If they play a spectacular fourth quarter, it's over. Like there's no winning after that. God, that other Super Bowl is still stuck in my craw. I'm very pessimistic about the Eagles pulling through, but I still got their back. I feel you, bro. If there was a sport, what if there was a sport anime about football? There is. It's called Ice Shield 21. That's a sport anime about football. Thoughts on the hopefully Marvel TV spot commercials? I don't care to watch them on the Super Bowl. I can just watch them on YouTube when they upload them. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And plus, they already upload. What the hell else are they going to show in the Super Bowl that I have not already seen? They showed the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer, which I thought was going to drop during the Super Bowl. The only thing they can show us now is fucking the Avengers. That's about it. I have zero interest in sport. Too busy with video games. I don't blame you. At least we have the Super Bowl commercials, right? Do we though? I don't know, man. I don't care about the commercials as much as I don't care about the Super Bowl. The commercials have not been as good as past Super Bowl commercials. I feel like they get lazier every year. And keep in mind, everyone makes a big deal that the commercials in the Super Bowl, they're like prime time spot because there's like 100 million people. But the thing is, half of those commercials never really stick with me. There's maybe one or two. I remember the one that I liked the most was that one guy. He was like a trucker for a beer company. He's like, why does everyone spend so much money on these commercials? Like 30 seconds talking about the commercial. Why can't they just do 1 second commercials? Like, great beer. Bam, that's the commercial. Great that. Bam, that's the commercial. And then they brought him back the next year, and it wasn't the same. It just felt like, oh, hey, let's milk this guy, this lovable man, which I like the guy. He is lovable, but, I mean, he's just a one-trick pony. You can't use him again. I don't understand why people want to rehash something that seemed popular at first, but the thing is, it's only popular in the moment. When you bring it back a second time, it's not as popular unless you do something spectacular with it, which they didn't. I got my money on the Pats. You and half of, well, not even half of America. You and like 4/5 of America are like, yeah, this is the Pats to win. And God damn it, I'm never going to hear the end of it from the Boston crowd. Everybody in Boston is going to stroke themselves off like, we have the best team in the league again, guys. Fuck you. I'm like, great. We'll never hear the end of it from them. And then if the Boston Celtics go to the playoffs and make it to the finals, they're going to be like, haha, we're dominating both sports, football and basketball. What you got to say now? All right, well, I'm going to end this video now because I got to work on some other videos. I'm hoping to have at least 3 videos out this week on the main channel. The first one will be out on Tuesday. That's all said and done. I'm going to work on one tonight, and then I'm going to work on another the next day. And I got to do some script writing for both a top 10 list I'm working on and some special videos I have planned. So lots to do, guys. Lots to do. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon.